Chapter 12 The Machine Age. Get set. Do you know what is the difference between tools and machines? Take the tools and circle the machines in the following pictures. Tools and machines have become an integral part of our life. Whether to cut an apple or make a call, we look for some or other tool or machine. We use machines all the time. It is difficult to imagine life without these machines. They are an inseparable part of almost all walks of human life. That is why the present age is called as the machine age. But there was a time when there were no machines. Before the discovery of metals, simple tools and weapons made of bones, stones, or wood were used by early man. It was the discovery of metals that humans learned to make better tools and later became masters in making more efficient machines. From tools to metal ones. In the beginning, man invented tools and used them as weapons for his security from wild animals and to hunt them. He made his tools out of animals' bones, woods, and stones. Since most of his tools were made of stone, so this period was known as the Stone Age. During this period, his tools were simple and crude. Gradually, he refined his tools and made them more sharp and pointed. Later, he discovered metal. It was an accidental discovery which changed his lifestyle. The first metal used by man is believed to be copper. Therefore, the age that followed the Stone Age is called the Copper Age. Then he began to make tools by mixing two metals, copper and tin. The mixture of these two metals introduced a new metal called bronze. The tools and weapons made of bronze were sharper, harder, and more efficient. This period was called the Bronze Age. A few thousand years later, man discovered iron. It was a hard and strong metal. Tools made of iron were very useful to him. This period is known as the Iron Age. By this time, man had learned the art of agriculture, so he made such tools of iron that were useful to him in agriculture also. Agriculture gave him stability and new occupations like carpenting, farming, weaving, etc. came into being. Invention of steam engine. New occupations needed new tools and machines. All the tools invented till then were hand-operated tools. But in 1769, a great change took place in man's life when James Watt invented the steam engine. It was a simple type of water pump used to pump out water. However, it marked the beginning of a new era. Steam engine. James Watt. In those days, coal mines in England used to get filled with rainwater. This made the mining of coal difficult. So, a powerful pump was required to take out the water from the flooded mines. Therefore, the steam engine was used to do this work. The power of steam engine was also used to run different types of machines. These machines made the work easier. Then people started making things in factories on a large scale. This gave rise to Industrial Revolution. George Stephen and locomotive engine. Chirpy says, the another important invention using steam was locomotive engine, invented by George Stephen. It was used for running the trains. It was also used to sail ships and run other machines. Industrial Revolution. The change in the period from handmade goods to machine-made goods is known as the Industrial Revolution. It began in early 19th century in England and America. The machines increased productivity, reduced cost, and improved the quality of the goods. They laid the foundation of factory system. People began to migrate from villages to work in these factories and settle down near these factories. This gave rise to industrial towns and cities. Sources of energy. Big factories and industries produce goods on a large scale. They have many machines. In the beginning, steam supplies energy to these machines. Nowadays, these machines run with electricity, Coal or diesel? Coal. Coal is a fuel used to run machines. Earlier, it was found almost on the Earth's surface, but later the demand of coal increased and the coal mines become deeper and deeper. Today, some coal mines are 3 to 4 kilometers deep. Since coal deposits are limited, man has to look for other alternatives which could run machines. Petroleum. Petroleum is a natural occurring, yellow or black liquid found beneath the Earth's surface. It is drilled from the deep surface of the Earth and then refined into different useful byproducts such as kerosene, petrol, diesel, etc. Petrol is an important byproduct of petroleum. Gottlieb Daimler, a German scientist, conceived to use it as a source of energy in machines. So, in 1885, he invented an engine that could be run by petrol. Today, petrol is widely used in different types of vehicles. Diesel is another important byproduct of petroleum. It is named after a scientist, Rudolf Diesel, who invented an engine that could be run on diesel. Diesel is much cheaper than petrol. It is used in several engines like railway engine, pumps, generators, etc., and heavy vehicles like trucks, buses, etc. Think a while. Find out what are renewable and non-renewable sources of energy. How can we keep them in a balanced form on the earth? Electricity. Electricity is the most important source of energy. Today, a large number of machines are run by electricity. It can be produced by burning oil, gas, coal, or with the force of falling water. The electricity which is produced by the burning coal or mineral oil is called thermal electricity, whereas the electricity which is generated from falling water is known as hydroelectricity or tidal power. To generate electricity, many big dams are constructed on rivers. Water is stored in these dams, which is used to produce electricity. The discovery of electricity is associated with a very interesting incident. Once a man in Holland developed a toy. He named it Leaden jar. It had two wires, one inside the jar and the other outside it. When two wires were joined, a small spark with a mild shock was produced. It became a popular toy among the children. Benjamin Franklin, an American scientist, heard about this and was curious to know how the spark and shock were produced. He decided to conduct an experiment because he thought that the flashes of lightning in the clouds and this were similar in nature. He made a paper kite and tied it to a strong silk thread. He attached a piece of wire to his kite and a piece of metal at the other end of the thread. He flew the kite on a cloudy day. When there was flash of lightning, he touched the metal key at his end. As expected, he received a shock. He found that this was a form of electricity. He also distinguished between the negative and positive charges of electricity. Now the scientists from all over the world got busy in finding ways to produce electricity on a large scale. In 1800, Alessandro Volta, an Italian scientist, developed the first battery. It could produce a small amount of electricity. He proved that a continuous flow of electricity could be maintained through a battery. This discovery led to the invention of engines which could produce electricity. These engines are called generators. All these sources of energy are exhaustible, so scientists are working hard to find out other sources of energy. Volta and his battery. Other sources of energy. Some natural sources can easily be regenerated and can be put to use for a long time. These sources of energy are solar energy, wind energy, gobar gas, biogas, etc. These sources are everlasting and they do not pollute the environment. Chirpy says, the sun rays are trapped into solar cells, wherein they get transformed into electricity, and this is how solar energy is created. Solar energy is used to run vehicles, cookers, water heaters, etc. Wind energy can be produced at places where strong winds blow. Biogas is produced from cattle waste. Gobar gas is produced from cattle dung and is used in many villages in India. Solar energy, windmill, gobar gas plant. Besides these sources of energy, a new form of energy called compressed natural gas (CNG) is used to run vehicles in different cities in India, which emits negligible amount of pollution. Our increasing needs of energy are causing a lot of harm to the environment. Therefore, it is the need of the hour to utilize all the sources of energy carefully. Quick review. The present age is called the machine age. The age that followed the Stone Age is called the Copper Age. The mixture of copper and tin introduced a new metal called bronze. James Watt invented the steam engine in 1769. The change in the period from handmade goods to machine-made goods is known as the Industrial Revolution. Coal is a fuel used to run machines. Solar energy is used to run vehicles, cookers, water heaters, etc.